Hello and welcome back to the Münster podcast. Today we have a special episode. It's not the part of the main series. It's a extra. It's a Münster extra episode, and obviously I'm your host here, Charles, with Ben. You know us both here, and we have a guest today.
Hello.
We have Jacob. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hello, Jacob. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, Jacob? Thank you.
I stream on Twitch.
You streams on Twitch.
Scumbag.
Yeah.
We will put
twitch.tv/JazPlaysYT.
Oh my god.
There you go, guys. He, I think it was yesterday. He did a stream. He's doing some drawing. You know,
I
it's a
drew.
good variety of streams there. So if you're interested, please check out his Twitch channel.
I also support Arsenal and live through hell.
Yeah, we also. Well, we'll speak
That's
about
always
that.
not to support him, by the way.
We'll speak about that in a second. But then also, we'll also put his YouTube in the description for you, so you can go check his channel out. Thank you for coming, Jacob. Now today.
No problem.
Today, okay. For those of you that aren't interested, well, you should probably not watch this video. If you're not interested in Premier League football, then obviously don't watch this. But if you are, some of us here in the Münster podcast are very into football. Me and Ben mainly. And for those of you who have been keeping up with it, you all know the Premier League is now back. It's been back for about a week now, and here at the Münster podcast, we have been talking about doing a special episode for this. So we'll do an episode here, like an extra episode. But if we can, if we can get really used to this, and if it works out well, we'll continue making videos related to sports. So today we are going to do a team of the season so far, because I guess in the last few fixtures it could all change really. I don't know, like someone just goes full ape mode, which we will also talk about. Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
But a team of the season so far, and I mean, I don't really have to explain it really. Let's just get started first with the goalkeeper. We'll go from back to front, so we'll start with the goalkeeper. So what kind of guys are you nominating for this position, and who else? Who actually gets honourable mentions? Because I think there's a few players that deserve a shout but don't get into the nomination.
Right. I shortlisted
Who's
5.
the guy that plays for Bournemouth?
I shortlisted 5. My main 5 for candidates was Alisson, Henderson, Pope, Leno, and Dubravka. I thought they would have been the best this season. Alisson, Henderson, Pope all have 11 clean sheets respectively. Leno has 7 because he's shit. Dubravka has
10. He's not that. He's served Arsenal a lot.
Yeah. But in comparison to those 3, if you look at the 3 who've got 11 clean sheets, Alisson has played 800 minutes less than him. So
that does affect it a little bit.
Yeah. He also has the highest save percentage out of everyone, with second coming Henderson at 75, Leno 74%, Dubravka 73, and Pope at 66, which is not amazing, but he's also fucking, they had like 400 shots at him, so I can't really blame him. And I think there's only one real winner here. It's Alisson.
Are you going for Alisson then?
Alisson by far. He's played much less minutes and has the same amount of clean sheets. His goals per minute is 167. He's only conceded 11 goals in 1,839 minutes. He has an 80% save percentage, and his shots to goals ratio is 5-1, which is the best, I think, in the league. So
I think I would agree with Alisson, but I think the kind of honourable mentions go to Henderson and Pope. Definitely. And then after that, it would be Dubravka, and then 5th place it'd be Leno. I'm really sorry, Jacob, but Leno is just no.
He's not. Leno's not a bad keeper.
Oh no, he's not bad. He's not bad. But this season, he's not.
You also have to remember we do have the catastrophic defense of Dallas.
Are you going to compare your wing backs to Burnley's? Because if so, you're having a fucking laugh. You're going to compare Bellerin to Max Taylor. You're fucking mental. You've got no excuse to compare.
At least they've got competent centre backs.
Yeah, but have incompetent wing backs. It evens it out, I'd say. I think even an honourable mention, someone I didn't shortlist, was the Palace goalkeeper Guaita, who's, I think he's got 10 clean sheets. Yeah, he's been pretty good this season.
I think Palace this season have done really well. To be fair,
Yeah.
I think they've not necessarily punched above their weight, but I think they've surprised people. And
Yeah,
I think this week, the Palace versus Bournemouth game, I think Hodgson definitely shocked a few people.
I mean, maybe it's
yeah.
just because they did dreadful last season.
I think the definition of a strong attack, a defensive side with a weak attacking side, which means that they can just grind out results. I think but Allison is definitely the goalkeeper to go here.
Are we
I
going
don't
with
think-
Allison? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Allison,
I would like to put Pope or Henderson, but unfortunately,
they've
Allison.
they've not been good enough.
He's just too good. Exactly. So
He's like a level above, like right now.
right. So in front of the
Unbelievable.
goalkeeper, let's start with our right back. So what nomination are we putting? I mean, is there really?
There's no competition.
Is there really? I think we all know.
Look, the amount of assists he's got this season, it's got to be Trent Alexander-Arnold.
It has to be Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Definition of an amazing attacking wing-back.
we're not going to put, Martin Montoya or something in there, are we?
Yeah, the only person that could even contend with him was his English rival, Wan-Bissaka, but he's been good defensively, but
not
He's
not world class though.
He's not. Alexander-Arnold is a level above.
Alexander-Arnold is world class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wan-Bissaka is not. Like that's the difference. They're both great, but
yeah, Wan-Bissaka's the better defender in terms of, like, in defending, but he's nowhere near Alexander-Arnold's world class playmaking abilities. He's been brilliant this season.
Do you think he's the best right back in the world? Alexander-Arnold. Do you think he's the best right back in the world? I think he's got a pretty decent chance at being the best right back in the world.
I think he's up there, but I don't think he's the best.
Are we classing Kimmich as a right back or a CDM?
I think we should class him as a CDM because I think recently he's been playing more in CDM. And even when you look at statistically, or like all these 6 and goals like Kimmich gets, it's from the centre mid position, CDM positions really.
Yeah.
So like he might look better on paper, but I don't know. I mean, who else would really like rival Trent in the right back position?
Well, Carvajal is he's probably not as good as Alexander-Arnold attacking wise, but defensively wise he's so good that he kind of evens it out. Yeah. I'd say.
Do you think
he's a very good?
Do you think Hakimi is good enough?
Hakimi probably isn't good enough, but you have to think about.
No. Hakimi's good going forward, but I don't think he's as good defending.
He hasn't played as much as well as Trent Alexander-Arnold, I don't think. So.
Yeah. Right, so you know what? Right back, all very easy. Now we're going into our centre backs. Might not be as easy. And one name is going to be on the tip of everyone's tongues. Does Virgil van Dijk get in this? Is he overrated, or is he walking?
Yeah, I think he's overrated.
I can't see why, with Liverpool's good defensive record, why he doesn't get a shout.
Yeah, I mean, people really fucking hate him too. Like, I mean, do you think he's overrated though?
People saying he's the best player in the world. He isn't, but he's a very good player.
Yeah,
he's a good defender, but at the same time, do you think half the Premier League has been as good as they can be?
Well, we'll find out in attacking stats later.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah, you might have like big teams at the back here, Liverpool and like whatever, and then up at the top you'd be like Southampton, like Danny Ings or something. It would be a completely weird team of the season so far.
Because if all the big teams had like very good attacks, I think they'd be able to make it hard for Van Dijk, but he's just had quite an easy season.
I mean, he's shown that he can like slip up a bit. I mean, that Watford game was just like
Watford
game. He wasn't good. He was terrible.
I predicted Liverpool were going to lose that game. I was like, Watford winning 3-0 here.
Yeah.
And then
So we got Virgil van Dijk. I think we like kind of agreed there.
Yeah.
But the other centre back, who is it? Because
I think it's Soyuncu from Leicester.
Soyuncu from Leicester.
I think he has been so great this season. It's genuinely unbelievable. Johnny Evans himself could have got a shout actually. They've both been excellent, but Soyuncu's been another level. He's been so good at the back. He's had a job of replacing Maguire, who had such a massive influence, and I think
Maguire's
he's probably
shit
either
now.
that.
I mean, do you think Soyuncu is better than Maguire when Maguire was previously at Leicester?
I don't know. I don't think. I think because his side's changed a decent bit, it's hard to judge. I feel like Soyuncu's played better than Maguire this season, definitely. I don't think it's fair to compare them in each of his Leicester shirts. So, 2 different seasons, probably say 2 different teams, really, from Leicester.
I mean, so are we going Soyuncu then? I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty fair argument. Okay, now left back. I think here is where possibly there could be an issue, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't immediately think of somebody.
Are we counting Bukayo Saka as the left back or left mid?
It doesn't matter anyway. He's not getting in it.
He's not getting in it.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
He's done sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
In like 5 appearances.
The 2 left backs I shortlisted was Robertson and Digne. Digne.
I don't want to put another Liverpool player in here.
The thing is with Digne, he's been very good defensively this season. He's like, I think he's got 21st most tackles in the Premier League, which is very good. Whilst Robertson's like 46 or something.
Where is he playing? Is he at Newcastle?
Digne plays at
Everton.
Sorry, go on.
In contrast, Robertson has 7 assists. I'm pretty sure Digne has like 2 or 3, and Robertson has like 1 or 2 goals. Digne hasn't scored this season, despite taking free kicks. I don't think
he scored an own goal.
He's got an own goal, yeah.
Which is hilarious. And oh my god, I've never screwed that hard in my life.
Yeah. I don't see a fault in putting either of them in.
I don't want to put Digne in personally.
But I feel like Robertson's played better though, despite how well Digne's played defensive wise.
I think Digne had a sort of better start to the season in terms of going forward. Like August, September, it was pretty good for him, and I think he kind of dropped off a bit. And I'm a bit more reluctant to put Digne in purely just because, like, I know this isn't exactly fair, but his side has been less prolific this season. I know they picked themselves up a bit lately, but I don't know, man. Like, I'll still be reluctant to put them in.
Well, I feel
that
like
is also something to consider.
Therefore, we can't put Danny Ings in because they lost 9-0 at one point.
I mean,
if we're using that logic. Danny Ings, I've got his stats here because I did my own research last night.
Should we
do any
Danny Ings when we get to the strikers?
Would you consider Cesar Azpilicueta in this? I know he plays right back sometimes, but you can also play left back.
Yeah.
Would you put him in? Like that is like the hipster choice right there.
Alonso plays left back mainly for him, and Alonso.
Has Alonso even played this season?
Yeah, he has. I can't not put Azpilicueta as one of the centre backs because I was gonna say the only other person who I would have put above Soyuncu or put near Soyuncu with Johnny Evans is Azpilicueta. He's played mainly centre back and right back.
I think he's very underrated.
He's a very good player.
He's very underrated because it feels like he's been around for fucking ever, so people kind of forget about him, I think.
Yeah, but he's not a left back.
I mean, if we really wanted to, we could squeeze him in there because he can technically play left back.
He could technically play left back, but he hasn't played left back this season. And if we're doing a team of the season,
I suppose
it wouldn't feel right to put him in.
Well, honourable mention to Azpilicueta for the whole defence as a whole. Then,
Azpilicueta has been great this season. Alright, we'll move on to midfield now. We're going wingers, or we're going.
Oh, do we go Robertson for left back then?
Yeah,
right, Robertson for left back. Okay, I think that's fair. Right, so we're going for let's do a 4-3-3. Let's do a 4-3-3. Let's do 4-3-3.
I put down a 4-4-2. So
have you got a 4? Right, well,
it's fine.
4-3-3. I think the midfield. That's where right. I mean, where do we start with midfield then? So
De Bruyne.
Immediately, De Bruyne comes to mind.
De Bruyne most assists this season, 27 games, 16 assists. That's mental. That goal against Newcastle as well. He's been great this season.
De Bruyne, easy. I don't think there's any contention for that. Of course, he gets in.
Yeah. Well,
What
Is he?
about the guy who plays for
Um,
Wolves?
do you think he's the best player in the Prem, De Bruyne?
Uh, mm,
You know what?
I think so.
I think
You're gonna say something like Aubameyang's the best player in the Prem, aren't you?
I don't think
Aubameyang's not the best player in the Premier League.
I don't think he is, but I think one of his teammates is. But we'll get back when we get into attacking stats.
What?
No,
Guys.
okay. We won't be able to mention it again later, but I think De Bruyne is the best player in the Premier League at the moment.
Well, he hasn't.
He just doesn't stop.
Yeah. Anyway, other midfielders.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree, Charles. It's definitely David Luiz.
Oh, shut up. I'm
right.
actually kind of sad, that he won't play another game for the rest of the season because of his match bans. Because I genuinely love watching him play. It's so okay,
He's
right?
not good.
No, hold on, right? No, listen, right? The way David Luiz runs, the way David Luiz runs, it's so weird. Like, it doesn't look like he's running. No, right? His speed is the fucking running speed, right? But for some reason, it's because of his hair and like the way he strides and shit. Like, he doesn't look like he's running. It's absolutely mesmerizing. It's so oh my god, I fucking love him, man. Anyway,
Right.
sorry. Centre mids, two of the centre mids.
I shortlisted Grealish for this, which sounds weird. It sounds quite.
He's literally Aston Villa's carry.
Yeah, right. It sounds quite weird, right? But he's one of the top assisters in this league, and he's got probably one of the worst attacking players in it for teammates. He's got Wesley and Samata, who are both bang average strikers, and as well as wingers, and the only other competent attacking player is probably John McGinn, really, in that team. And say that he's one of the top assisters in the league. It shows how good he actually is. And although he's not got as much assists as De Bruyne, he's also created so many chances for Aston Villa. And obviously, due to their bang average shit African strikers, they never score. But I think with Grealish, it's not necessarily about assists. If that's not the be all and end all, it's more about he's created so many chances for him. He's been very good this season. He's probably he's been the other attacking player who I think's been brilliant.
I think I agree with that. So we could put Grealish in Cam and then De Bruyne in midfield.
Yeah.
Okay. So third choice.
Would you put Bruno Fernandes in?
No, I won't put Bruno Fernandes in it. No,
I won't put Bruno Fernandes.
I think he's a great player, but he's played 2 matches, right?
What about Maddison?
Maddison.
Okay, I think this is where the kind of conflict's going to begin, right? I think a lot of people would like to put Jordan Henderson in it. I don't know what you guys think about that. Is that a yes or a no?
I understand that call. I'm really conflicted with a lot of people.
Does Mason Mount get a shout too? And Kante?
No, I don't. Kante might.
And also Yuri Tillemans and Ndidi and all that. Do they also get a mention?
The midfield is probably the strongest area of this. The main people who spring to mind for me was Rodri from Man City, who's I think's been something that Man City's kind of needed. Although they haven't been playing them up to their 100-point standard, they needed someone like Rodri in that. And Ndidi, who I think I saw a stat where it was that without Ndidi, Leicester have won 3 or 4 games. They've won most of their games with Ndidi. When he's not in that squad, they're not the same. I think he shapes that Leicester squad. Kante is always a shout, because Kante is, he's Kante at the end of the day. He's hardest worker in Premier League, going around making all those challenges. I'm trying to think of who else.
Matteo Guendouzi?
No.
Get lost. What about Ruben Neves?
No, I don't think he's
I think... Okay, right. I think Ruben Neves is in the same situation that Rodri's in, right? They're both great players, but they're not team of the season players yet. I think that's what the kind of distinguish has to be made, basically.
I think for me, due to his massive role in his team and how his team is so just kind of lost without him, I think he's got to be Ndidi for me, which that sounds probably very surprising, but yeah, I just think he's been
I
brilliant.
think Ndidi is the Azpilicueta pick of the midfield, you know.
Yeah, Leicester aren't the same without him. Ndidi's been such a good player for him.
I'm so torn though. Like, okay, right, so you put Ndidi in and you leave out Maddison. And
Yeah,
I think Maddison's been really great.
Yeah, but
Why
I
is
have-
Matt?
I have a feeling
like I want to
that
keep Ndidi in.
if you take out Ndidi, Leicester's not the same. I think if you take out Maddison, Leicester can still play to a similar standard.
Yeah. Well, I think I agree with you that Ndidi has basically shaped Brendan Rodgers' team. I think a lot of it revolves around having that sort of anchor CDM, and a lot of it, like Tillemans can come into this too, but it's mainly Ndidi. Well, I will agree with putting Ndidi there, but I feel
I mean, I don't feel like that it's right that we have 3 attacking centre mids.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any suggestions, Jacob? Are you happy with Ndidi? Like, do you not feel a bit torn about leaving Maddison?
I mean,
maybe.
I'd put Maddison in there because of how well he's done, but who have we already got in there? We've got De Bruyne
Grealish.
and Grealish. Yeah, you need a Ndidi to like hold.
Yeah, so we'll go to a front
Because
three
like
then.
if you were playing Ultimate Team, you want an attacking
Okay,
midfield,
okay.
holding midfield, would you?
We don't play FIFA though.
Right.
It fucking sucks.
Left wing. Okay. Who have we got running up and down left hand side? I mean, right. Let's start with Ben. Actually, so what are your shot lists?
Well, I feel like there's only one person that comes to mind here.
Is it Sadio
right?
Mane?
It's Mane at the end of the day, right? This man's been involved in 21 of Liverpool's goals this season. Although he's not scored as much as Salah, he's got 14 goals and 7 assists this season. He's been amazing. I don't think there's been many left wingers who have really been up to his standard. Like not even likes of Sane or because although he's got a decent involvement in the team, he's not been as vital as Mane has been. Mane's been he's been involved in a lot of Liverpool's attack, and without him, I don't feel like if you'd put any other left winger in that Klopp system, it would work. He's a different type of player. I think he'd be my left winger. The only other players I'd say who are up to his standard this season would probably be Sane, but he's been very out. He's been very off form sometimes.
Sane's not played this season, has he? He got injured.
Yeah, but I mean, is in terms of like level of playing, like ability wise, Sane would be the only person who could contend with Mane. I feel like the left winger role, like especially this season, there's been one standout candidate. Like I think it's the main area where you can tell Liverpool have this class above everyone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Do you think he does a Ballon d'Or? Mane.
He could be a contender. I don't think he can win. I don't think he'd win.
Is he like the Frank Ribery of this like sort of generation? Where he's like he'll come second and all that.
It depends when Messi and Ronaldo retire, or if they dip in form. If they were to dip in form, Mane would be one of the top contenders. I'd think. He's such a good player. He's such a vital player for Liverpool, and he's a standout candidate. With the only other person who can really match his ability being Sane, who hasn't played this season.
I mean, do you have anything to add, Jacob? There, do you want to try wheel in Aubameyang?
I mean, let me pull up his stats.
I mean, what is it like?
Tell you,
17
they're not
goals.
very good.
17 goals this season. Aubameyang, he's second in the Golden Boot race. Really,
he's second in the Golden Boot race. However, out of everyone I shortlisted, he's joint worst for goal involvement. He's been involved in 18 goals.
He's gonna leave this summer, isn't he?
Yeah.
There is no way he's staying at Arsenal.
Probably not.
When in the Brighton game, he just looked so disinterested. He looks so.
Thing is anyone actually going to pay his fee? Because it's his last season. So if he stays one more season, he could just leave on a free.
I mean,
I think
depends how much we demand.
I think it depends, but I think any club would be really grateful to have a player like
Arsenal in a
Aubameyang.
situation now where we need to get rid of.
You need to get rid of your entire team.
If we're going to get rid of anyone, we need to get rid of. If Aubameyang
the entire of the midfield.
We need to get rid of either Ozil or Aubameyang this season. We can't get rid of him.
Oh, but Ozil has to go.
Ozil has to go. The whole entire midfield has to go because it's fucking shit.
The entire team has to go. They have to restart. They have to restart.
I mean, I think that's harsh on Leno. I think that's a bit harsh on Leno.
We can keep Leno.
Yeah, right.
We can keep Saka.
But genuinely, most of like the first team, like the senior team, has to go. It has to restart. Like you're talking Saka or anything, but I don't count Saka in that, right? I think the only people really immune to this are like Leno and Aubameyang. Like you can tell me, oh, this play is not that bad, or this play is sometimes they play well. It's not for Arsenal though. You're meant to be a top 4 club.
The only person I would argue not on your list who could stay, and this might shock a few, is Xhaka. And I know that sounds really weird.
Jacobs can go beast mode.
He's
as much as I hate Xhaka, when he's on his day, which is very rare, he is one of the best, like one of a very good player.
Well, the thing is with Xhaka, right, is he's a type of player who might not necessarily have that quality in his in his technique and stuff, but he's got that quality in terms of the social aspect. So very similar to like a Roy Keane, not obviously the level of Roy Keane, but like Xhaka. Whenever Xhaka's in that midfield, he structures it better. It looks a lot better under Xhaka than it does under Guendouzi and
oh my god, Guendouzi.
Yeah.
Why would you want Guendouzi in your midfield?
Well, no, yeah, but
people are saying after the Brighton incident with Morpé, Twitter was like, "Oh, Guendouzi's got like he's got passion on this." He really doesn't.
He doesn't, right? If he had passion, he'd play well in that game. He didn't. He just sort of roamed around like a piece of fucking wet lettuce.
Did anyone actually play well for Arsenal in that game besides Leno and like the first,
Saka
before he got injured?
Saka played well.
What Guendouzi needs is he needs a leader in that midfield with him, because otherwise he gets lost like young players tend to. That's what Xhaka does. That's
my man Arteta starts Kolasinac because it's his birthday.
Yeah, but Sayad is. I think Sayad is pretty good.
But why would you not play Tierney, who was our best player against City?
Well, it was ironic because Kolasinac was one of your better players against Brighton, so I wouldn't really be complaining when you had the likes of Guendouzi, Mustafi, Holding, Lacazette, or just playing like shit.
Why did he take? Oh.
I honestly, right? I feel bad for Arteta. It must be the worst job to ever have. It's the worst first managerial job you could ever have. Like this isn't even like a sinking ship club. This is a very sunk club. Like
a dead club.
I think next season's gonna say a lot for Arteta because obviously he's gonna have this full transfer window. Hopefully,
but if he makes another signing similar to like a player like Nicolas Pepe, you're fucked for another 5 years. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, if you guys make like a fucking like Nicolas Pepe-esque signing again, you guys are fucked again for another season.
It's heart attack football. That's what Arsenal play.
Like,
Arsenal's been dead all season.
Right, let's move on to the right wing. Let's move on. Let's move on to the right wing. To the right wing. Right. So, who have we nominated here for the right wing, Ben?
My main two was Salah and Sterling. The two standout candidates by far. I think this depends on. There's a lot of arguments for this, right? Because Salah, I'm pretty sure, has played more minutes than Sterling.
Yeah.
So I think Sterling has something like 12 or 13 goals. Salah has 16. Sterling has like 2 assists. Salah has 6. But he's
Question.
played more.
Does
Yeah.
Pulisic play on the left?
He can
Doesn't
play.
matter.
He can play
Doesn't matter.
both, but he's not getting in it.
He's not getting in it because he's not fucking beating Mane, is he?
True.
Oh, I scored a hat-trick against Burnley. Fuck off. That's all you've done all season.
Also, he's American. So
yeah.
We're not playing. No.
I mean,
What about Adama?
I'd say
Actually, Adama. Yeah, that's what I said.
Adama, right? Big, very much a big game player, but he's not been level with Sterling or Salah this season. I feel like Adama's that third person when you look at the if you had 2 front runners, you'd think Adama Traore is the third party essentially, right? In this, it's the same with in the goalkeeper position where the standout 2 would probably be Alisson and Henderson. You'd say Pope would be the third runner, right? That's basically what Adama is, and he'd probably get an honourable mention for this, but he's not been level of Sterling and Salah. And I'd probably say Salah gets in ahead of Sterling.
I think Salah gets ahead in easily, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's quite clear. The 2 choices you've given, if I had to choose between the 2, easily it'd be, for this season, it'd easily be Salah, right? The thing is with Sterling, right, is that, we're comparing purely to Salah, right? I don't think he's had a good season, but it's not his best, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think you could choose last season or 17-18 and be like, that's his best season. Definitely not this one. If what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a bit unfair to put him ahead of anyone. I think it'd be a bit unfair to put him ahead of anybody in the right wing position, let alone Mohamed Salah, who I think same thing applies to Sterling, but I think Salah's season has been a little bit better than Sterling's.
The only thing that makes me a little bit iffy about putting Salah here, right? He's scored 16 goals this season, right? 14 have come at home, right? Someone being useless on the road. I think Sterling is a much better rate than that, but that's the only reason I would even put him ahead, put Sterling ahead, but I'd still put Salah here. So if we're going away,
I agree with that as well. I think Salah. Sorry, go on.
If we're going away, I'd probably start Sterling over Salah, just for the fact that Salah seems to struggle when he's not at Anfield. But if he's at Anfield, Salah gets in every day of the week, by far.
Right, so let's move on to centre forward then. So who are we putting here?
Well,
in our strike position.
This was by far the most interesting position out of all.
Not
for me.
Firmino.
Can we make it clear that we're not putting Firmino in this?
Firmino, he's not had an awful season, but he's very much, he's not a goal scorer, put it that way. I think I shortlisted 4 players here. I put Vardy, Aubameyang, Aguero, and Ings.
Oh, you shortlisted Aubameyang.
Okay, right. Well, Aubameyang's going 4th though.
So Aubameyang is going 4th because although he's had 17 goals this season, he's only been involved in 18 goals. He's had 1 assist this season in 2,400. He's had 1 assist. Goals. Yeah, he's scored 17.
That means he's scored 17 of them.
Yeah, he's played 2,485 minutes and had 1 assist, which is fucking shit.
That is so bad.
In contrast, Vardy, who I'd say, isn't a typical assister, has 4. Ings has 2 in a terrible attacking Southampton side. Aguero has 3. I mean,
I wouldn't put Aguero in purely because he's not played as much.
All right. We'll talk about that. Vardy he's been involved in 23. Aubameyang and Ings have both been involved in 18. Aguero's been involved in 19. However, I think the most damning stat for me is the goals per minute. Aubameyang 146, Ings 130, Vardy 122, Aguero 91, which is mental. That is essentially a goal a game ratio.
I think the thing is with Vardy, thing is with Vardy is like he had a very nice period of form, and then he had like a goal drought basically for a few
think he's in
games.
that goal drought right now.
I think,
yeah.
and he's still in it, so
yeah,
that also has to be taken into consideration. A lot of these goals came early on when Leicester was like sort of steamrolling a lot of things to like second place.
Think about this, right? Vardy started 26, Aguero started 17. Vardy's had 27 appearances, Aguero's had 23. Vardy has had like basically 900 more minutes, and the difference between them is 3 goals and 1 assist. Aguero, despite not playing that much this season, has been top form.
So would you put Aguero in?
I would put Aguero in with ease, and I think he's the best
Yeah,
Premier League player.
I think I agree with that as well. I think again, it's about the consistency about it. Aguero a goal. What did you say? 90 minutes.
91 minutes, and if
Jamie Vardy 120.
Time,
okay.
Yeah.
And
that's a good rate.
And the only difference between them is 2 goals anyway. So the player with the better rate, surely by the end of the season will probably have more goals than Vardy. Especially if Vardy keeps this terrible form going where he just can't seem to score.
Yeah, people say
Who
Aubameyang.
are you playing tonight? Leicester.
Brighton play Leicester tonight.
I hope he puts a hat-trick past.
Oh, okay. Shut up.
Well, yeah, but you still fucking lost to Brighton, you
you still lost to us. Shut up, man. Hey, Leicester's in like 3rd, so...
Anyway, I think if I'm going to say rankings of these 4, 4th place is with Aubameyang with ease. I think worst performer out of these 4, especially considering teams. 3rd place for me would be, I hate to say it, but Danny Ings, despite the fact he's only 8 minutes goal per minute.
Yeah, I put
behind Vardy.
Well.
Danny, and he's probably in a worse team. I think his goal involvement being only 18 is not amazing, but I still think he's very close to Vardy. I don't think there's much difference between Vardy and Ings here.
I think the kind of differences between Ings and Vardy is purely just because of Vardy's early season form.
Has Ings played less games than Vardy?
Oh, Ings has had more appearances, but Vardy's had more starts. That's the thing. But Ings has only had 2 less starts more than Vardy. I think the Ings has played 2,094 minutes. Vardy's played 2,314. And although you could say, oh yeah, that's a bit of a difference. I don't think there's much difference between these two. But I think there's only one striker, and it has to be Aguero. It has to be Aguero.
Vardy is the easy choice. Vardy is the easy choice, right? But if you seriously took the entire season as a whole, Aguero once again is consistently good, and I think he has to be in it.
I looked out of attacking players this season, right? I have the stats here: Vardy, Aubameyang, Ings, Salah, Aguero, Mane, and Rashford. The only person to have better assists per minute than Aguero is Salah and Mane, who both play as well. So I think that's still a pretty damning stat to say, especially because Aguero, he don't have a strike partner, whilst Salah and Mane have their own little partnership, really.
Yeah.
I mean, and although you could say Mahrez, obviously, but
not quite the same.
It's not quite the same.
Yeah.
I think
in that
Aguero's
Man
been
City
exceptional.
team as well, he's got a lot of competition too.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. I think one of the best Premier League strikers of all time. I think he's the best Premier League player right now, which is that's a pretty damning statement, but he is just.
I think it could only ever be between him and De Bruyne, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would like to say, "Oh, Mane or Virgil van Dijk or whatever," but like
not the same.
It's not quite the same. Maybe in a season or two, we'll see. But the things with Sergio Aguero and De Bruyne is that they have a lot of consistency, and that's why they stand out. I mean, again, we see Aguero's a goal every 90 minutes. That is exactly what you need. That is like the perfect centre forward. You don't get any better than that.
So I think honourable mention strikers obviously goes to Ings and Vardy, who've both had a brilliant seasons, but Aguero has just been brilliant.
I think some more honourable mentions can be given to Jimenez and Rashford as well. I mean, I don't think they're ever going to get into this particular team this season, but I think they should at least be given a mention. I think
they've had a good season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rashford's had pretty good.
He's had a good year.
Well, actually, interestingly enough, he's had 8. He's been involved in 18 goals, the same as Ings and Aubameyang, but he's got less goals than them, but he's got more assists.
Yeah. Well, right. So there we go. So from back to front, goalkeeper we have Alisson. Right back we have Trent. Centre back Soyuncu, Virgil van Dijk. Left back Robertson. In the midfield we have Grealish, De Bruyne, and Wilfred Ndidi. And then in the attack we have Mane, Aguero, and Mohamed Salah. I think this is actually it kind of played out a lot smoother than I expected. To be honest, but you know, the way you sort of presented your nominations, I think everything makes sense, and I think that's a pretty solid team this season. I mean, I think the bench is pretty much everyone that we like nearly nominated.
Yeah, well, I think if I was to do a bench just off the top of my head, Henderson, Maddison, Vardy, Ings, Johnny Evans, probably I'd say.
Or maybe Azpilicueta.
Or I think Johnny Evans and Azpilicueta could play in that, and maybe Traore. I'd say they're the main standout ones for me.
Yeah, maybe Rashford, Jimenez,
Rashford. Yeah, but there's so many.
There's so many places to have on the bench.
Yeah. There's been so many good standout performers really this season. I think this has been a good season for individual players to show how good. Yeah.
Right. Any final words, guys? I think we could. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. So
Arsenal's fucking shit.
Arsenal is fucking shit. We'll see if Brighton can fell another giant tonight against Leicester. Hopefully they can.
No.
Hopefully they can.
Hopefully they can.
That has been the Monster Podcast. Thank you very much for watching, and also thank you, Jacob, for coming on here and contributing to this episode. I know you've not had too much to say because Arsenal are shit, and I think you know that. And I don't think any of them get into the team this season, unfortunately. But
the thing is, right, the one thing with the restart, we were decent going into the season's pause or whatever, and then we come back, we fly in a plane 3 hours before the match, then we get 2 injuries, then the next game our best player gets stretchered off because of whatever happened.
WWE.
Yeah, because of more pay or whatever, and we play Southampton on Thursday, and it's over. Honestly,
I think that's a very appropriate way to lose faith.
I think we're gonna.
You're gonna get relegated.
Half of the table.
Yeah.
And next season,
Arteta's gonna get sacked next season. Do you know why? Because the board are gonna be like, oh, you finished 7th or something. He's gonna get sacked. I guarantee you.
Unless we have some miracle turnaround.
The fans, the Arsenal fans and the board put pressure on the manager when I don't think it's appropriate. In my opinion.
No. It's not Arteta's fault.
It happened with Wenger as well.
Okay, but it was time for Wenger to leave.
Well, all I'm saying is, as soon as Wenger left, you've gone to 9th when you had a steady top 4, top 5.
I think
maybe not
the pressure.
A problem.
The pressure was on Wenger when it wasn't necessarily his fault. Right. Well, let's not get into this. Right. Thank you so much.
I think he did bring in a lot of players that are liabilities now, though.
Yeah, but that's because the board as well. Anyway, that is for a different episode, right? We should probably get Sam on for that one. He's an Arsenal fan too. Thank you so much for watching the Monster Podcast, and please subscribe if you found this interesting. We'll also comment below what you think of our team this season and your own team this season if you would like to. This has been Charles on the Monster Podcast.